Hey guys, Sports Gaming Fever here, and we made some additions at the trade deadline last video, which was a two-part episode. It's about 30 minutes, I guess. So yeah, so we're just gonna sim out the rest of the season this episode, and then maybe do the draft and maybe some re-signing next video. But so yeah, I guess what I'll talk about here, since instead of doing a whole other episode for talking about, the trade deadline, the actual trade deadline, the NHL Trade Deadline. I'll just talk about it here, I guess. Just some of the stuff off the top of my head. I'm not really researching any of this. I guess I'll start in Boston, since that's where I'm from, so I know the deal's there. We traded away Steve Kampfer for Greg Zanin. I'm pretty sure it's Greg Zanin, yeah. I know it's Zanin. I think his first name is Greg. Pretty sure. Anyway, we got him. And that was needed because we got Johnny Boychuk, who suffered a mild or minor or whatever they're calling it, concussion. And I mean, he's day to day, so probably when they say that, you can never really know what they mean by that. So he's probably going to be out for at least the rest of the week, and then maybe the next week. So we definitely needed a defenseman, and we're going to scout some defensemen here, to step in and take his place, at least for those 2 weeks, and maybe they'll even fight for a spot on the roster. And maybe just save Boychuk for the playoffs. But, so we got that down. And then we got Brian Rolston and this guy, Matau or something. Brian Rolston was a former Bruin. He was a Bruin from 2000 to 2004. And, I mean, he was those guys, if you're a Bruins fan, I guess you know, or maybe even just a fan of hockey, maybe you'll remember Glenn Murray on the Bruins and Joe Thornton when he was on the Bruins. And, he was around when those guys were on the team, and that's when I started to really become a Bruins fan. I fell in love with the Bruins when I was that age back then, and I'm glad to see him back. I'm actually going to tonight's game, Bruins versus Senators, and I'm psyched about that. I just figured about this out about 20 minutes ago that I'm going to that game, and it's gonna be a blast. Get to see the new players come in. This guy Matau is a tough guy. We traded away 2 prospects for these 2 guys, and then the Islanders fans, I saw on Twitter, they were posting about it like, I don't know why Boston's so excited. See, the Islanders aren't a very good team, so they think these guys aren't going to contribute, but they're good depth players. So we need depth players. They don't really, I don't think, I mean, I'm not trying to offend, maybe there are some Islanders fans out there who probably know their stuff, you know? I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying stuff about the people who were tweeting and like, oh, these guys suck. They don't suck. They're good depth players and people we need. Matau is also a defenseman, I believe. I thought he was a winger, but he's a defenseman, so that is good. Some other deals. Nash. Well, Nash, he's not a deal. He did not get dealt. And so that's not really a surprise, actually. Once I saw Carter go, I didn't think Nash was going to get traded. I think he's going to get traded over the summer because he's making it clear he doesn't want to stay there. I kind of feel bad for him, but you know, yeah, he should be on a playoff contender, you know. But what else? What were some other deals? There was a deal for Kostitsin, I believe. Yeah, from Montreal to Nashville. Nashville made a lot of good deals. This was one for a second-round draft pick for 2012 and a conditional fifth 2013 draft pick. And that's a great deal for Nashville. Kostitsin will be able to play alongside his brother in Nashville. I didn't know he had a brother. I just heard about this. But and that'll be good for him. And he wasn't really thriving under Montreal. And I think Montreal just wasn't his fit. And he'll improve and do better in Nashville. He'll be a good depth player there, probably on the third or probably more like the second line. He's a good left winger. I believe he plays left wing. Could be right. I don't know. Anyway, there's some other deals. There was a deal with Schultz from, I think it was the Dallas Stars, who just played here in this, to the Oilers, who gave up Gilbert. I believe those are the 2 players. I know it was 2 defensemen, and I believe those were the players. But yeah, they think that was an odd deal. It might have not been, I don't think, no, it was not. It was not the Stars, I'm sorry. I forget the team, I'm sorry. I should have really looked this up, like, beforehand. But, Yeah, but I think that was an interesting deal because Gilbert is more defensive. He's more of like a defensive player, I believe, and then Schultz is plays more offensively. I think I have that. I'm sorry, that was probably not that great. But there's a recap of the stuff I remember. I mean, there was a lot more, and a lot more I remember. There was this guy Hodgson or whatever, and he was traded away from Vancouver, and he was, I guess, kind of like a prospect, a young guy, and who was playing up in the NHL, doing pretty good. He had like, I want to say, 17, 18 goals for the season, and they traded him away for a guy who plays kind of like Milan Lucic, a younger version who's not so good yet, but hopefully will be. But maybe not as good as Lucic. But because Lucic is still, I mean, I guess now I'm going to talk more about the Bruins. But I mean, Lucic isn't considered a prospect, but he's only 21, 22. I don't know when his birthday is, but that would be kind of weird. I'd be kind of a stalker if I knew that. But he's 21, 22. He's not necessarily a prospect, but he's still going to improve a lot. So he hasn't hit his prime yet, and so it's a guy kind of like that. It's kind of a guy like Lucic, but in prospect form. Like that's his playing style. I don't know if he'll be as good as Lucic was, but or is. I'm sorry, but you know, I think he'll be a good addition to any team. But I don't know. I wouldn't give up Hodgkinson. I think who was it? Buffalo who got him. Buffalo is going to come up on the upper hand. Oh, and there's this guy Gostad from Buffalo, the center, who Nashville gave up a first-round pick for, and I believe Buffalo gave up a fourth-round pick also in that trade to kind of make it go through. But you know, I don't think Gostad's worth a first-round pick. To be honest, he's more of like a grinder, two-way forward kind of guy. I would only give up a first-round pick for like a sniper kind of guy, or not necessarily a sniper, but a first-liner or a scorer. You know, that's when I'd give up a first-round pick. But give up a first-round pick for Gostad. But there weren't really a lot of sellers out there. There were more like buyers, and the asking price was a bit too high for Gostad, but they put it through with the fourth-round pick, throwing it in there. But I think Buffalo came up with the upper hand on that one. But Nashville definitely had some boosts. You know, there was talk about Suter and Weber needing to be signed after this year, and that might make them stay long-term or something. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that, but, I mean, that could be good. I guess that's the talk in Nashville. Yeah, I think Nashville definitely did the best at the trade deadline. They really improved, and with all their players, Kosticin, Gostad. Pretty sure they got somebody else a couple days before the trade deadline that'll help them. And yeah, you know, they're not afraid to give up their draft picks because they're going all out for the season. They're one of the powerhouses. They are having like they're a great contender for the Cup this season. I'm saying they're going to go far. They're going to go far. They're not going to get like a first round, second round entry. I think their conference finals is the earliest they'll exit. I mean, we don't know this because we haven't seen them, you know, play like with the new team, but I think it's going to only take a couple games for them to gel, and then they'll be set. So I guess that's going to be it for this video. I guess we'll see who wins the Stanley Cup, and then yeah, Washington Capitals, they won the Cup. All right. And then we'll wrap this video up. It's kind of short, but you know, we'll see the draft and maybe some free agency signing. Next video, we're looking for a second line center because I believe Vermette's our second line center right now. You know, it should be good. Oh, let's see who retired. Hopefully, okay, Hannon retired in Corvo. Okay, so we got some gaps to fill on D. I mean, Hannon's not really a gap, but Corvo, he's a gap that we need to fill because he was really playing. Hannon, I was going to dish him at the end of this year. I didn't know his contract was up, but his contract's up, so he retired. You can take a look at some of these. Cleary retired from Detroit. Elias retired, New Jersey. Gonchar from Ottawa. Prospel and Timonen. Oh, not, I thought that was Pronger. But Matt Cook retires, but Timonen from Philadelphia, Marco Sturm from San Jose, Boyle from San Jose, Martin St. Louis from Tampa, Oh, this is Matau guy, who we got, Mike Matau. He's on Washington in this, I guess. Saku Koivu in free agency. I guess we'll take a look at goalies. Goalies, Hewitt, Mason. Oh, Chris. No, that's not our Mason. I'm sorry. Turco and Byron. So and then some guys who probably were Mike Brodeur. Yeah, or Mike Brodeur. Wow. Okay, this is a terrible video right now. Like just the past couple minutes. So we'll just take a look at the prospects out there, and then we'll end this video. Actually, no, we'll end this video now. We'll check the prospects next video. All right. See ya. Draft time next.